What is going on, world? I don't know if you can hear me. Don't know if you can hear me. Hear me clearly. It is time for the show. Sports Game Vision. If you can hear me, if there's anyone in the building, please let your brother know that you can hear him on this live. I'm live and direct. Brother had a little hold up today, had to handle some affairs, but I am in here to start the show. Sports Game Vision. My name is Hank. As you can see, got my little camera. Just a little something, something. No, nothing major. Trying to step up the game a little bit. Hopefully, you enjoy the improvements in quality. But I do what I do, and I do it because I can do it. You know what I mean? So, welcome to the show, Sports Game Vision. We're going to talk sports today, NBA in particular. But of course, you know the name of the show, the name of the channel is Sports Game Vision. So I talk about sports. Have a variety of sports that I enjoy. I'm sure that a lot of you do as well. So we're going to start off the topic in 1 second. But first off, just going to handle a couple things. Again, this is Sports Game Vision Live. You see some of the topics that I'm going to talk about here in the pictures that you see there. Some of the stuff we're going to discuss here tonight. And of course, we're going to come to you every Friday starting at 6 p.m. Of course, if I run behind, or even sometimes I'll start earlier, it'll be around that time frame. But I'm sticking to it every week, no matter what. Please come and join the show, support the channel. We're trying to grow over here and do some big things. Welcome to the channel again. I want to keep stressing that. But of course, please follow. Please follow. I always discuss that whenever I do my show. Subscribe to the channel. It helps all of the creators, including myself. I'm not just thinking about myself. If you enjoy someone's channel, someone's content, the least you can do is like it as soon as you get in and subscribe to them. Hit the notification bell for whenever they join online. This way you can enjoy whenever they come on here and give you that great content for their channel, Sports Game Vision again. And then we're going to do a countdown and we're going to get started. We are back. So, what do we got going on today? What do we have going on today in the wonderful world of sports? We're going to start off today talking about this in-season tournament. Right here, we're going to pull up the games that are coming on, some starting very shortly. I try to get the show done before, and I might even start it a little bit earlier because of the game starting normally at 7. But of course, I got to live my normal life, as Draymond Green and my favorite player, LeBron James, would say. You got to live your normal lives. I got to do that too. So sometimes I have to adjust, but for the most part, I will start at 6, but I will try to get a little earlier as well to kind of offset the times the games in case you guys want to watch it without watching the YouTube or watching the show. Maybe you watched multiple things like I do a lot of times. I have multiple things going on. I'll have a YouTube going on. I'll be watching the game. I might even be playing a little card game on the side, whatever it is. I'll be multitasking, reading a little article here. So definitely we want to get into the topic here of the NBA in-season tournament. And look at these games here, guys. Look at these games here. We have Milwaukee versus Charlotte, and that one should be pretty fairly easy for Milwaukee tonight. I don't think that they should lose that game. We got the Knicks versus Washington, my other hometown in New York. I'm rooting for them to win. Hopefully they get it done against Washington. Washington has a decent team. They're growing. Of course, they have their issues with health and off the court issues. But once they get that together, maybe they can take that next leap. We have the Philadelphia 76ers versus Atlanta Hawks. Another hometown of mine right now. I actually live in Georgia right now. I cannot see the games because of Bally Sports. I can't really get into the team because they block the games. They want you to either find where they're at on whatever network they have. I don't have. I guess it's maybe on AT&T or DirecTV or whatever it's at, and I don't have that. But they blocked the games, so I cannot watch them. So hopefully, you guys can let me know what's going on with that. I'll be checking in on the website and the apps. Philly versus Atlanta. That should be a solid game. Atlanta's pretty good. They might take that turn this year. They're looking like they're playing pretty solid this year. They might be top 4 to 6 teams if they can keep it up. Then we got my place where I was born at, Detroit versus Cleveland, and unfortunately, I don't know. I think Cleveland's going to get this one, but Detroit's going to put up a fight. They are very very tough. They've been putting up fights against a lot of these teams this year. So it'd be interesting to see how that goes down. If Cleveland does not bring it, they will lose the game. Detroit just cannot make a lot of turnovers and mistakes. That's what's been costing them some games. A lot of that youth is showing up. Then we've got Boston versus Toronto. Another pretty solid, decent game. I believe Boston should get it. Don't know who's in or out. I have to check all the injured reserves list for the day. You know how that goes. It fluctuates day to day, minute to minute at times. But Boston should be able to pull this one out. Then you've got Sacramento, San Antonio. That should be easy for Sacramento, even though San Antonio is young, got some nice players. Orlando versus Chicago. I'm actually looking for Orlando, another young team. But last year, I really, really enjoyed them playing. They're coming across this year, starting out pretty well. I think that they should take this game from Chicago, who is in turmoil. There's reports that they're trying to trade their whole team. Goodness. We don't know what's going to happen in the future in the next few weeks, especially it seems like this end of December, January are going to be very big moments for a lot of teams. So we're going to see what happens with Chicago there. Then we've got Denver versus New Orleans. Man, I don't know what's up with New Orleans. My guy, Zion, what is going on, man? You should be the face of the league, taking over this league. But either way, try to find a way to win, man. Bring some winning mentality, even if you don't end up in New Orleans for the rest of your career, wherever you might go next. You got to have that hunger. You got to have that fire to win for the next organization. Because if you're not doing it here, you're going to bring that to the next organization. But either way, I don't see them necessarily beating Denver tonight. Denver should take that one unless there's a whole bunch of other injuries, especially Jokic, who is the centerpiece of that. Then we've got Phoenix versus Utah. Phoenix. I'm gonna go with Phoenix on this one. They still have Durant. Durant has been playing very well. He's always been solid though. He's we know that he's getting a little older now, but he's still playing solid. He's very efficient. He knows his IQ is very good on the court, and he's putting up MVP numbers, 30 points per game and 5 and 5 or something like that. I forgot the total numbers, but he's definitely showing out in Phoenix. And I know Beal is out. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Hopefully Book is there, and if he's there, they should be fine. And honestly, to be real with you, they technically got a super team. They really do. They really do got of all the teams in the league, they probably have the closest to a super team in the league. And the next game that I see here will be the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Portland Trailblazers. Yeah. Lakers, you better not lose this game. My favorite player is on there, LeBron James. Honestly, they should be able to win if they don't play AD or LeBron, but you got to play one of them just to make sure you can course correct the game, make sure people are not making mistakes and a lot of mistakes rather, and you can, get everything set up on offense and defense. So as long as one of them is playing, they should handle Portland. Of course, with any team in this league, you cannot take them lightly. Otherwise, you will vastly be disappointed and probably lose a game. And then the last game of the night, which is a very, very, very interesting game, is the Houston Rockets versus the Los Angeles Clippers. yeah, we know what's going on down there. A lot of I'm actually going to talk about a few things there about the team in a few minutes, but I've got Houston taking this. I don't see the Clippers taking this game. I don't think they're going to course correct that quickly. It's going to take a while before that happens, and we don't know what all the injury reports are and all that good stuff for who's in or who's out. You know how that goes, but with that being said, I'm taking Houston for sure. They're playing very solid and hungry and ready to take that next step to make the playoffs, not the play in. But again, I'm enjoying these in-season tournaments, man. I don't know about you. The games have been very, very competitive and solid. We saw what happened a few days ago with Draymond Green. I mean, that was woo. Look at this here. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, you take that. Yep, yep. Let's go to the MMA cage and take them out, right? I did a video on it. Go check it out on the channel. Um, did a live on it talking about it. It was, you know, very interested to talk about that topic of whether he was right or wrong in the situation. But again, it came from the in-season tournament, and what I'm going to do here is play a clip from last week. I was not able to play this clip. We're going to play it again for Michael Wilbon. Check it out.
I want to hear why you don't like it. Then I can kill your argument. What don't you like about it?
Oh, I got plenty of reasons.
Well, give me a couple.
It already supposed to count for something. I'll give you one. It's already supposed to count, Frank. It's a game on the schedule. These aren't separate games. It's a game on the schedule. You're paying good money to see. Players are being paid to play these games. And now you're telling me I'm going to assign something else. Speaking of our obsession with analytical junk. So I'm going to assign something phony to it, let the marketing people run my league. The marketing people are going to say to you, go watch this game. We're going to assign it an extra value so we can then give people orange slices and trophies at the end of it. If it's supposed to matter, Frank, let it matter. I don't need a stupid trophy and orange slices.
Well, you heard what Michael Wilbon had to say there. I know I got this graphic up here, and that looks weird because we're talking about the in-season tournament, and we're going to actually pull up at least these jerseys here, jersey sales, which I feel are pretty awesome. Those jerseys are pretty cool. But honestly, yes, I understand what he's saying. These guys should be motivated to play the game. It's a different generation. They're getting paid a lot of money, man. They're not getting paid what those guys got paid back in the day. Those guys, it's sort of like the WNBA right now. A lot of those players have to play in the league to make that money and go overseas and make more money to supplement their lifestyle. The NBA players can just play in the league and supplement everything and have more than enough. They don't have to really work part-time jobs or have another career overseas. If they do it, they're going to do it because they love to, and these owners are not going to go for it. To be honest with you, they want them to play on the team, but it's a different generation. And the fact that they're offering $500,000 to win should be a very incentive. As a matter of fact, LeBron James and Anthony Davis and they've already admitted that they're playing for it. And I'm sure there's other people around the league. $500,000 is $500,000. I mean, I know they're rich, but they can put that on some luxuries or anything else that they want to have a little fun. We're gonna play another small clip here about the same topic of the in-season tournament. And it's really about, you're almost agreeing with me, and it's from Stan Van Gundy.
To the people criticizing it is, all the traditionalists were also against the play, which has become a very successful thing. So the NBA is always looking for ways to improve the game, especially for our fans. And I think they deserve credit for that.
Yeah, I do too. Well, the courts are interesting.
Well, you heard what he had to say there. It's pretty awesome. He agrees that the NBA is doing what they can do to be vigilant and trying to make the game more interesting, more fun, and give the players something to play for. That's what Stan Van Gundy, and I'm gonna pull this clip up, man. This is one of my favorite photos from Stan Van Gundy. He coached for my Pistons, one of the most coldest rap album photos of all time. Stan, the man Van Gundy, the boss, the Don, the Don Dada. Man, that was a great photo. But yeah, he agrees that the in-season tournament is a great thing. It is, man. It's something that can really grow into something bigger. It could help young teams. It could help struggling teams. It could help veteran teams win that tournament, give them some type of confidence in going into the season. But honestly, I really think those young teams, someone like an Orlando or an OKC, even a San Antonio, if they had the opportunity to get there and win the tournament, would be very big for the organization. They'll have the pride to go out there and try and win the big thing, at least get to the playoffs and have the confidence to play against teams like Denver, Los Angeles, Boston, Philly, all these teams that are ahead of them. They'll be able to have the confidence to go against them and say, hey, we can do it. Sacramento, who needs to take that next step. They win something like this, it will be very big for their organization. And I just showed you the jerseys, man. They're pretty sweet, man. I really, really like these jerseys. They're going all out to, make the game fun. Visuals attracts fanfare. Definitely visuals, what you put on the court definitely attracts fanfare. And this is an old tournament play here, but as you can see, the main part of this graphic that I've got up is the in-season tournament has grew more viewers for the league since it's been on, especially in that first week. And then you can see the colorways of the courts, which I think is pretty interesting, to say the least. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we're going to switch topics here. We're going to go on something I've been holding off on for quite a bit. We're going to jump into the Joe Smith drama that's been happening and going on with his wife. It's pretty crazy to me what's going on there. I don't, really care for it, but we're going to talk about it. Let's play the original video of what went down and how this all came about.
Out of all these years, the disrespect that comes with it, that you couldn't even talk to me before you did it.
We're going to, okay, look, so I have an OnlyFans page, and he's mad because he's just now finding out about it.
Of course I'm mad on you just finding out about it.
I'm not doing it with anybody but myself, so why should I have to tell you my choice, my body?
I'm your partner, you're supposed to come to me and talk to me.
Joe, I've been talking to you about mad things. I've been asking for some, not giving me none, so I created one.
That's no solution, not in my book. That's
Before,
I
thought that I would never have to go back to anything like this again.
Beforehand,
but
no.
that's not the case right now.
After that, everything's supposed to change.
Everything did change.
No. Obviously it hasn't.
No, it had to. I had to do something.
Hasn't. You stood out there showing your body. You stood out there doing stuff like this on camera.
You act like that's the only thing that I do. I have mad jobs, but they're not facilitating everything that needs to be done. So I got something extra. OnlyFans be breaking me off.
It don't matter what they breaking you off. It's the disrespect that comes with it.
What disrespect?
You couldn't come and talk to me about it.
Okay, well, we're talking about it now.
Because I had to find out on the fly.
All right, then. But now, okay.
No,
so wait.
I had to find out on the fly.
So now you know.
Yeah, now I know.
Okay. And so? Whatever. I've been doing what I have to do, period. Like, that's bottom line. That's what it is.
You heard what they had to say there. That was a clip from Michael Jordan at the end. But, man, that's a very, very tough situation to be in. Again, sorry for the clip. It's very raw. I didn't get a chance to edit it for the platform, but I will do in post. But either way, you saw the raw footage. It's been circulating social media. And, yeah, at first I thought it was staged. If you really look at the way I'm looking at that clip, it looks like a pretty honest reaction from Joe. And you heard her response is she's going to do what she wants to do. That's a tough thing in a marriage. We all have our own choices that we have to make, and it may not be beneficial to your partner. It should be a partnership. You should be working together. You shouldn't have to hide anything. But the main reason that I'm even bringing this up is because of what that video led to. And we're going to take a look at this picture right here. They went on the Mace and Cameron show and gave Cameron a back rub. That is crazy to me. To have that, you're married to someone, you really don't want your spouse doing all that. It feels a little bit disrespectful in a lot of ways, especially since she said on the original interview during that show that she has other people that can do the massages, and they're going through their issues at home. And I'm sure no husband wants to go through that. It depends on, obviously, their relationship status, what they go for what they don't go for. I try to stay off of this topic until I was able to watch a lot of the videos. I watched a lot of them. They did quite a few interviews. Joe went on Vlad. They both did a morning show, and Joe was hurt. Joe was really hurt. The amount of things that they're doing kind of seems like this could be a little planned, but either way, that main video does look like Joe was giving an honest response. It's a tough situation to be in. Again, I don't like it for Joe. Joe was a very good basketball player, borderline could have went to the Hall of Fame, had some things went his way, but this situation is not good. It's not a good look. I'm wishing for the best results for him and his family, whether it's with her, without her, or whatever the play is. I've always knew that it was rumors years ago that he had lost a lot of his money playing in the league, but we didn't hear about him for a long time, so it was like not in the public. This makes it public, and they're both somewhat celebrities because she is listed to be a former adult actress, and of course he played in the league, so he has a brand himself. So you put that together along with TMZ and the social media world getting this, Angela Yee's and Miko Grimes. I saw her. She did an interview with Miko. Shout out to Miko. She was on Gilbert Arenas. Hope you go back. But either way, it's a tough situation to be in for Joe and for her. I mean, maybe not for her. Maybe she enjoys it. I don't know. It's just that spotlight, bringing your whole family issues to the forefront for everybody to see. But again, wishing you guys well and it resolves. But yeah, this picture right here really got me like, wow, this is a lot. This is a lot, guys. And this is what Cameron does. Cameron, a Mace, he got that Harlem in him too. But Cameron, especially is known for doing what he's doing. But guys, let's switch topics here and move along with the show. We are going to move along with some quick news here. Let's start off with this one here. We've got Ja Morant in the news again. He is trying to get himself back together to come into the league. You see, his team is having a lot of trouble right now. They're not winning a lot of ball games. They really, really need him. It shows the effect of him being on there. And also his former teammate that's in Houston right now that was beefing with LeBron. What is his name? Brooks. Brooks is definitely a piece that should have been kept for them. Probably with salary. Seems like they try to smear your name a little bit so they don't have to pay you a lot of money. Maybe they didn't want to give him that bag and try to get him on a discount. Teams play that game. They try to do it with Draymond and Golden State this past year. And Klay Thompson is doing it for himself right now. But that's besides the point. Ja Morant is claiming self-defense against the 17-year-old at the time that he punched in the face about a year ago at a basketball court. And he is trying to get these legal issues put together. They claim to stand your ground We all know that name from the Black Lives Matter movement and Trayvon Martin. He's claiming stand your ground, and he had the right to do what he did to the young fella. Just hopefully this gets resolved, that he gets no more of this they need. Ja is, I compared him to Allen Iverson. He has the voice of the youth. The youth are really, really attached to this young man, and he can play ball. He can back it up. So hopefully he comes back with a furious season next year. This year he's coming back too, but he's not going to be available for any awards because of the time he's missed, and his team is probably not going to be able to do anything. If they're able to, be a great story, but I doubt it. We're moving on to the very next topic here. It is, here we go here. My graph is messing up on me. Here we go. You see me now. You see me. But here we go. We got Bradley Beal. Goodness gracious. He got a bacchiotomy. Again, let's put his bacchiotomy up here. He's always hurt. He's been hurt the whole season so far. If I'm not mistaken, he was pretty much hurt in the preseason as well. And we're going to touch on this topic again in a second. It's crazy that he is out for several games with the lower back strain. And this lower management stuff is crazy. We're going to touch on this a little bit again in a second, but that is the news. He's going to be out tonight in the game they're playing. He's going to be out for a few games. The next topic we have is Adam Silver is talking about expanding the league into Mexico City and Vancouver or Montreal. What? I don't like that. There's two cities in particular that right away deserve it, especially the first one is Seattle. Seattle, bring their team back. Just like the NFL messed up with Cleveland and taking their team away and moving it to Baltimore, you need to bring, let me put my face up. You need to bring that team back to Seattle. There was nothing wrong with Seattle. They were buying tickets. They were supporting that team. They were just like Oklahoma City, and y'all took it away. Bring that team back to Seattle. They already got an arena, and I'm sure they'll build one by now. It's been like 20-something, probably 20 years since Seattle's been gone. These young kids don't know nothing about the Seattle Supersonics. The great Sean Kemp, the great Gary Payton, and that team that went to the finals against the Bulls in 96. Bring that team back. And you've already been to Vancouver. Why would you go back? It doesn't make any sense. No, you're trying to expand the game, but Seattle and Las Vegas would be the greatest pick to pick right now. Vegas has everything right now. They've got the women's team. They've got the Raiders. They got the Raiders out there, man. The Raiders, they've got baseball, I think, is out there now. Everything is out there. You might as well, and you can bet. You can bet now. It's legal to bet in the league. So why not put a team in Vegas? It makes sense. Put a team in Vegas, put a team back in Seattle. I don't like the Mexico City and the Vancouver. They can get that later. They're going to expand the league again. Just wait on that. Give us Vegas and Seattle. The next topic here we have is your guy, Russell Westbrook. He is saying he wants to come off the bench. He is sacrificing for the team, guys. I mean, I like it, but do I think that that's going to save the team, especially now? Look at my face. Nah, bruh. Nah. I think they got a lot of work to do to turn it around. I don't think that's going to change anything. And we're going to touch on that again in another clip that we have here. That's not going to change what's going to happen. But I do like the sentiment. He's trying to help the team, being a team player. And Russ, for the most part, has been pretty much a team player for the last few years. He's been breaking down, especially since he got to the Clippers. The next feed we have here for news is Miles Bridges. I'm not sure if he's going to play tonight, but I believe he's slated to. The Charlotte Hornets are slated to play tonight. The organization and himself are both saying they want to put this behind him. He wants to show he's not the person that the people think he is. And the organization is also trying to say they want people to give him a different chance to feel that he can help the team take the next steps. And of course, he's very talented. I believe he went to my school, MSU, as well. And yeah, it's a tough situation when you're talking about physical altercations with the spouse, and the legal side of that is going to handle it. Just hope that he's able to keep out of trouble, keep himself together, and not get any further trouble in progress progress himself and his team to the next steps in winning, because they got Lonzo Ball out there, and he's a pretty good player. Then they got that young fella Brandon Miller. They should be able to take some strides too and be one of the next young teams, especially in the East. What's the other player? PJ Washington. That we know who PJ Washington is, but he's a pretty good player himself. So they put that together. They should be able to take the next steps. So with that being said, here we are going to take this clip down, because the clip is always popping in the way. You know how that does. And we're going to play another clip for you. We're going to start off with my guy Gilbert Arenas. Let's check him out.
Y'all should be apologizing because he missed practice, played in the game. They are missing games, and none of y'all are saying.
Hey, talk about it.
Like, y'all even run those clips today. Like, we ain't talking about the game because, we're not talking about the game. When the game come, he was there 100%. He's playing 1,000 miles an hour.
Yep.
He's giving you his all.
Every game.
And y'all crucified this man for that. And now you're allowing, you're putting rules in.
So they can miss games.
Just don't have 2 stars miss games. Games? He was missing free practice. They're missing paid games.
Well, you see what he had to say there. I was checking out some graphs, can't find it, but your guy Allen Iverson was a solid player in this league. He definitely deserves his props. He's one of my favorite players of all time. Allen Iverson was the truth, man. He played hurt. He's one of those, what they call, a last of a dying breed. Chip off the old block, cut from a different cloth. He brought it. These guys now don't do that. They're taken out all the time. And that's what I was saying. We're going to bring this up again because we got Bradley Beal out again. He has not played. Has he played in the game yet? One game in the NBA season yet? And same back injury. We got Ben Simmons out again. I didn't report on that. Ben Simmons is out. Everybody is leaving and not playing these games that are, they are meaningful, especially now with this in-season tournament and money on the line. A guy like Allen Iverson, a guy like Kobe Bryant would definitely not do that. LeBron James really doesn't do. He's low managing a little bit now, but through his career, he pretty much played. So, I don't get it. Like, why are teams doing this? Why are guys doing this? We have Michael Jordan predicting this years ago in his Wizards phase that the league would not do what they did. They played through a lot of stuff. Michael Jordan, the year he came back, a lot of people don't know. Ron Artest talked about it. He broke Michael Jordan's ribs in a pickup game before the season. And Michael Jordan still came out and gave you 20-something a game with a broken rib. So, and I know it had to be painful. But, the Wizards Michael, I did like that Michael. A lot of people didn't like the Wizards Michael Jordan. I thought I didn't think he was going to come back. I didn't have that expectation. It's sort of like I am with movies. I never expect the sequel to be better than the original. A lot of people do that. Like, we had Coming to America, what was it, this past year? Everyone was like, oh, I didn't expect it to be better than the original. There's no way they could have been better. It's the same thing with Michael Jordan. Unless you got some type of injections or Jesus juice or something to give you the youth that you need and the agility and all that stuff, the health and stamina, you're not going to be the exact same player. He was a lot smarter. He was a lot more skilled, but he definitely wasn't the same exact player. And, it's sad to see that these teams go out and they don't play all the games, especially right now. Like, you're putting a lot of pressure on Kevin Durant. And Devin Booker was out a few games too, but Kevin Durant was there pretty much every game. And you're putting this pressure on him to take over when you should be the one taking over. It's crazy, or at least helping the situation. And that was not done, which is a very, very sad thing to see and hear. But who am I? I'm just a regular guy, right? It's Sports Game Vision, love sports. I'm a fan. And just speaking from a fan's perspective, we want to see these players play. And from a guy that was spoiled from seeing guys play a lot from the generation before, you see why generations that are older than me, the older generation, they walked away from the game for the most part. They don't like the way these guys are not showing up. And they also don't like a lot of these rules. Calls are not being called, traveling, palming the ball. I'm watching those videos on YouTube and he explains it, the steps. It is confusing though. Like, goodness, like that looks like a travel. You jumped, stopped again, you stopped your dribble, jumped again. Like, what? That's legal. So you could see an older generation would be like, man, bump that. That's not real basketball. You're not playing with the back to the basket to do the big man, and you're doing all this other traveling. They don't want to watch the game. So I'm adaptable and I'm willing to learn, but I can see why people get frustrated with the game. Like, man, I ain't watching that mess. But the game evolves, and you have to be able to evolve with it. The NBA, if you go back and watch some of the old videos, it always evolves. So I'm not opposed to seeing things, but it is confusing watching some of the videos. I'm like, how is that not a travel? So with that being said, guys, hopefully we'll get more guys playing up to that 65 games in the season and giving more effort in some of the other stuff that we like as well, like the playing tournament, which is you got $500,000 on the line. Come on. I wish I was the bench player on that team. $500,000. Oh yeah. So they got to bring some more incentives to the All-Star game, and Adam Silver is talking about doing that for the league. So we'll see what happens there. All right, guys, we are going to hit this button here. We're going to switch up gears again, and we are going to play another video, and it is going to be from my guy, Mark Jackson, who they say was dismissed from a job as an MSG announcer for the Knicks as a backup to, I believe, Walt Clyde Frazier. He was an announcer there. He was supposed to back him up, and they say he got banned from the team playing, and he has some issues with the management or something there. Mark Jackson is from New York. You can hear it in his voice and his swag. If you didn't know anything about New York swag, he got that New York swag. And he played for the Knicks. He's true blue, white, gold, and blue. Orange and blue skies, as they would say. So we're going to play this clip by Mark Jackson and come right back.
The lies have got to stop. The lies have got to stop.
Let's start it over, guys. We're going to start from the beginning.
Come on, man. Come on. At some point, the lies have got to stop. The lies have got to stop. I've sat back year after year after year, listening to lies, questioning me as a man and my integrity, what I stand for, what I was raised on, has been questioned. I sat back and didn't say anything. My guy, the coach, the legend, Coach Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, has a great quote that I listened to just recently. He said he lost the address to the high road. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting closer, because there's a side of me that's fed up, that's upset that you keep on smearing my name. Today, a report came out that I was fired or dismissed from calling Knick games. Honored and privileged to have an offer bestowed upon me to back up the legend, Walt Clyde Frazier, calling Knick games. Over a week ago, I turned that job down. You heard what I said. More than a week ago, I turned the job down due to the fact that it wasn't the ideal conditions and it wasn't the ideal time for me. You never know what the future holds. They say once a Knick, always a Knick. I bleed a side of me, blue and orange. I dreamt of playing for the Knicks. I dreamt of calling games for the Knicks. It would have been a dream accomplished, but it just didn't work out. I give the reporter credit. 4 calls yesterday from reporters trying to get a quote from me. I did not respond because I don't play that game. I let it alone, thinking that it'll die and nobody will know what happened. But over a week ago, I turned the job down. Forever grateful, and again, you never know what the future holds. But I want to thank you. Blessings.
Well, you heard what he had to say there, guys. Mark Jackson, he's fed up. He's fed up with the reports that have come out about him over the years, about a plethora of things. He's a believer. With me, I don't shy away from that as well. His faith should have nothing to do with his job performance. He should be able to believe in what he believes in, just like they give leeway to everybody else in what they believe in. Why can't he, have faith in Christ and still do his job? But beyond that, what other things are they trying to say that he's doing that he can't be a valuable addition to a team and help a team out win? I thought he did a great job in Golden State and helping them build to the next level. It's sad that he didn't get another shot. I believe that he can help a young team. He seems like he's pretty adaptable for the most part, and they're punishing him for what it is. I wish it would really come out what it really is, but he's fighting back, which is a good thing. That's why we have social media, to be able to give your own voice. No longer do you have to worry about just depending on print and TV and radio and movies or the big screen to give you a narrative. You can set it yourself on your own phone, on your own tablet, on your own computer, and with good people and good numbers. And he's already got a fan base because of all the years of great basketball. He was a high school phenom, college phenom, came into the league, had a great career, borderline Hall of Famer, went to broadcasting, did a great. He's pretty much a Hall of Famer in my eyes as a broadcaster. And he had a pretty good, solid coaching career. Had it worked out, imagine if he had stayed with Golden State and they were able to win at least a couple championships in that run. He'd be a Hall of Fame coach right now. So shout out to Mark Jackson. I'm rooting for you, brother. And hopefully this thing can turn around for you. I would like to see you back in the league. But if that doesn't work out, definitely want to see you back in the booth, missing you on the telecast. Your thoughts, your opinions with you and Van Gundy, Jeff Van Gundy, up there cracking jokes. So, this report he's saying is poo-foo. He turned it down, and he wants to clear his name out for all the negativity that has been going on in this game around him. But guys, we're going to change the topic here. We're going to bring up a couple other things that I wanted to bring up on the show before we get out of here. It's sports game vision. So I talk about NBA mainly, but I also talk about other sports, stuff that I like. The first thing is last night I missed the boxing match. I don't know if any of you caught Shakur Stevenson. I didn't even know it was coming on. ESPN, man, you got to do better to promote, man. Like, I even have the ESPN app right now. I could have watched the fight last night or tried to, catch it. I'm still going to watch it. I like to watch fights, but come on, man. Like, if you promoted it, I would have caught it last night. I'd have, woke up for it or whatever, get me some wings, get me some coffee, whatever I need, and would have watched the fight. They need to promote better. And why is it on a Thursday night? It's Shakur Stevenson. Why would you not put it on tonight or tomorrow? It's a weird booking, but I don't know if they were overseas. I don't even know what time they did it, but it did happen. He won the championship. They saying it was a weird fight, so I'm going to check it out. I don't want to give my opinion on it too much until I see it, but he's getting called out by Devin Haney. He's getting called out by Crawford. Not Crawford. What's his name? Tank Davis. Crawford is his mentor. So with that being said, we're going to check that out. You can check out the fight if you can. We're going to talk about right here. We're going to talk about my guy, Deion Sanders. He wants to win a game. He's getting rumors about going to another school, rightfully so. Deion Sanders is a great coach. Not only is he a great coach, in my opinion, I know people are going to say, what about his record this year, whatever. Look at his record over at, was it the Jackson State or Savannah State, wherever he was for the HBCU he just left. His record there is great. And he did a great job when those young men were younger too, as well. As young boys, they had great records there as well when they were younger. So he's a great coach. He's a great brand facilitator. He's making a lot of money for that school. I know Colorado don't want to get rid of him, and the future is bright. Those players are going to want to play for him next year. New players, even if it's not the ones that are there now. But I'm saying all this to say that I'm happy. I'm rooting for him. They did not make a bowl game this year. I really was looking forward to them making a bowl game this year. And from all my buddies that I talked to, my podcast friends, I'd said that they probably wasn't going to make a bowl this year. They said that was the shining moment if they did it, because to go from 1 win to 10 wins, that is a lot to do. Your players are probably not that good if they only won 1 game. So he's won 4 times the amount of games. He's got them hyped. He's got them playing better. Now he just need a few more positions. And next year, they'll definitely be in a bowl game. I'm looking at 8 to 9 wins next year for sure. An improvement. Hopefully, they get this next game to be win number 5, but definitely 8 or 9 games next year or more. But they'll get in a bowl game, and it'll change the trajectory of the team. Depending on who he might be able to get that double digit next year, 10, 9, 10, 11 or more wins. But we will see. Shout out to Coach Prime. Looking forward to the win. The next topic I got here, my talking point, is about the WWE. We've got Logan Paul, who is retired from celebrity boxing or boxing period to focus on WWE. And if you guys are wrestling fans, professional wrestling fans at all, man, he has found his calling. He is a way better wrestler than a boxer. He was made for this. He's very athletic. If you know Ricochet, he's doing moves like Ricochet, and he's not a professional. He doesn't have the years of experience that this man has. And they put on a banger match. He's been on banger matches against Roman Reigns already. He just won the United States Championship about a week or so ago at what's the pay-per-view again? I forgot the name of the pay-per-view, but he won the championship from Rey Mysterio, who we're going to bring up here in a second. This is probably the best celebrity champion that I believe WWE has ever had. And he's going to stick around and do full time, which is going to be great to see the progression. He's already pretty good on the mic. He can only get better. His wrestling is going to get better. He's getting training from AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes and Ricochet, and all these other people are helping him out. He's going to get light years ahead. I think even Roman Reigns helped him. He's going to be amazing in the ring. He might have a shot at the world championship at some point. And then that United States championship is like a upper mid-card championship, is like right below the world championship in my eyes. So he's right there, man. He's right there. Let him represent that well, and we will see what goes on from there. The next thing is, of course, who I was just talking about, Rey Mysterio. Man, do you know he was wrestling with a messed up knee for like 3 months? He underwent surgery on his knee. He had tore something, and he's going to be out for a little bit. But that shows you the toughness he has and the skill set. Because when you watch his matches, is he the exact same as young Mysterio? Of course not. But he still moves very well in the ring. He's very skilled and talented. It's like watching LeBron James go to work right now. He's in that stage of his career. He just won the United States Championship, and of course, he dropped it to Logan Paul. Shout out to the 48-year-old legend, Hall of Famer. He made the Hall of Fame about a year ago or this past year, inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame, and I'm sure he's going to be in other Hall of Fames around the world. But shout out to him, man. That is crazy that he wrestled through all of that and was putting on great matches. And guys, let's see, we're getting close to the end here. I do want to touch on this topic here, and we're going to bring up this right here. Adam Silver, our young audience isn't subscribing to cable, and those fans aren't finding our game. It's a decline in the cable services, and the younger fans are not watching the games as easier. And of course, you and I know necessarily that does not mean they're not watching the game. You're not able to track them. These young individuals know how to get around all the get arounds, and I'll be having to go to them like, "Hey, hook me up, show me what you do there." Everything is expensive, and but they've cut the cord and found other ways to watch the game. It does not mean that they're not watching it. You just can't track how they're watching it right now, but they want to get them in the subscription basis back. My suggestion is don't overprice things, which the NBA is doing a great job. They're not overpricing the things like the NFL does, so that it can be affordable once you got your things together. Like the that NBA season is not that bad, the pricing on it. So, you can watch games anywhere for about $100 or so, a little maybe 200. So it's not a bad price, and you can watch every game. So besides local teams, Georgia, I can't watch any Hawks games because of that Bally contract crap. But or if you like when I was living in Michigan, the same thing. It was hard for me to watch Pistons games. So, beyond that, I understand it. But another thing to bring younger fans into here is to build stars. And we got this graphic right here, Chet versus Wemby. And those are the two guys I'm looking forward to being the face of the league. The other guys have disappointed me, my Zions and my Ja Morants. And it looks like other guys in the other generation, like Giannis, don't really want to be the face. But the league is in good hands. As long as these guys continue to step up, we're going to pull up this other graph here. I believe it's just the NBA top under 25 players that can be the face of the league. And you look at that right there, goodness. Luka, Anthony Edwards, Wembanyama, Halliburton, Morant, Cade Cunningham, Zion, and LaMelo, and Tyrese, and Chet, and Scotty Barnes, Jalen Williams, Jalen Green, Jalen Duren, Tyler Hero, Keegan Murray. And I don't see Paolo. Did I see Paolo up there? Yeah, I see him. Paolo Banchero. They got a great list. If you're listening to me right now in the comment section, give me a top 5 to top 10 of young guys on this list that you think is going to be the face of the league. And right off the top of the rip here, for that first top 10 is pretty solid. I'm not necessarily thinking I'm putting Jaren Jackson, even though I like him. He's a good player, Michigan State. Shout out to him. I'm not probably putting him on the list, or probably not putting him up there that far. I'm putting him on the list, but I'm not putting him up that far. Or probably Darius Garland. I'm probably not put him up that far. I probably swap that out probably with Banchero and probably Jalen Green on that top list. I believe Tyrese Halliburton is a star. As he continued to put up numbers and help the Pacers turn that corner. My guy Cade, he's going to do his thing as long as he stay healthy. I think he's going to do his thing in Detroit. We've got Zion. I want to see y'all shake. I'm just shaking my head because I really feel like he's the face of the league, and he's blowing it right now. But I'm going to keep him up there. He's still young. Him and Ja Morant. I believe Ja's going to turn it around. I'm shaking my head too at him, but I believe he's going to turn it around because when he was getting in trouble, he was balling out still. And Anthony Edwards is a bucket. Wembanyama, they're going to put everything at his lap and see what he does with it. And Luka, yeah, he's in that conversation this year for MVP. So I believe he's definitely going to get pushed as the face of the league. But yeah, the top 10 is pretty solid for them, except for a few. I'll probably, in my own comment section, put you my top 10, maybe even mix some things up, or the honorable mentions or something. But y'all go ahead and definitely put that in the top 10 of who you think should be the face of the league, top 5, top 10. Well, guys, I don't really have too much more to give you. I do have a lot more, actually. But I probably will have to come back to the show a little bit later to give that, or start a new live and give you more content. I'm hoping you like it. I'm going to chop some of these down and give you more content later. I'm also going to edit some things out of here that I didn't mean to do. Shout out to the NBA community. Shout out to all of my broadcast friends, podcast friends. Shout out to Sevens Mitchell. Go check him out on his Best of Seven Sports. Shout out to BA at the Get Your Bars Up Media. He also talks sports as well. And, what I meant to mention with Sevens Mitchell, he also does Lakerland for a player's choice. So go check that out on Tuesdays and Sundays. Tuesdays are later at around 7. And Sundays, obviously, a little bit earlier, around 1. And check that out. Talking Lakers. My favorite player in the game is still LeBron. He won't leave. It'd probably be Steph if he wasn't there. And after that, I don't know. I'm about to see who my favorite players are. Maybe I'll do a show about that. But before we go here, we are going to talk one last thing. I try to leave some positivity on the platform all the time. It's been a while since I did it. You saw the graph earlier. I'm going to put it here again. Yes, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, the Hall of Famer. Some have him listed as the greatest of all time, and he's definitely up there. He deserves it. He changed the game of basketball. A lot of us are watching it because of him right now. At least it's been globally branded because of him. But he also has a lot of quotes, and I got to get back in my sports motivation videos that I was doing. He's definitely going to be one of them. But here goes one of his quotes. Obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb, go through it, or work around it. I want to read that again. Obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, sports motivation for the day, that goes out to anybody that needs to get a positive mindset or something that they're going through. These things, we go through our challenges in life. All of us have them. And these quotes can be applied to your life, not just basketball, especially with this one right here. This is some things my dad used to tell me. So, he's breaking it down his own way. I'm sure his dad probably told him this too. So definitely keep grinding, keep working through it. Don't give up. I'm trying to build this platform, guys. I'm talking to an empty hallway right now, but it's all right. I love you. The people that are going to show up, please subscribe to me. Please join the channel and like the content. But either way, I'm going to keep on doing it. I love the NBA. I love sports talk. And we're going to make this thing pop off, whether you like it or not. We're going to make it pop off. This is Hank with Sports Game Vision. We are about to sign off here. Again, thanks for anybody that's going to watch this video, who's joined the show today and is going to watch this on replay. It will be available for you, and I will break the content down. And please join me every Friday on 6 p.m. Might adjust the time. Again, I told you I try not to go into the games as they are playing right now, but anywhere from 5 to 6 to 7, I'll be here, but I'm locking in at 6. So just come through the channel. Around that time you get off, just go watch some videos. There'll be some videos on the platform you can watch, and just wait for the live, because I will be here. I will be giving you that NBA content. Sports Game Vision Friday Night Live. Again, we talked about Mark Jackson, James Harden. We talked about the guy, Joe Smith, borderline Hall of Famer, former NBA player and star. And we talked about the future of the league with Chet and Wembanyama. So, Again, we hope that you have a great rest of the week and rest of the weekend. But I'm going to pop up on the weekend with more stuff, I'm sure. Again, subscribe, like, follow, do all that stuff you see on the screen there here at Sports Game Vision. We really, really look forward to your participation. And it's like, as my motto always says, Sports Game, you know the vision. Peace.